Hey guys! Here is the second part of the new player guide. This will mostly be about the Farplane and story modes. First, in the event menu, there is a lot to talk about. There are a few quests that should always be available. Void and the Darkness, Warriors of the Crystal. Any other quest here will depend on what current events or collaborations are going. For new players, I highly recommend that you try and clear the main Warriors of the Crystals quest. Doing so will give you the unit Lucio. He is a completely free unit to max out once you finish the WOTC quest. Not to mention that clearing all the quest will give you Viz as a reward. Lucio is a great unit in PvE raids since he has moves that chain attacks. There are some harder difficult WOTC quests that you can farm for gear. You can also acquire Lucio's weapon here. It will be difficult for a newer player, but this is a goal I do recommend you try to achieve. Most of the gear here is decent but better on the warrior that it's meant for. Now on to the day training tab. For now, ignore the Trust Stones quest because that's a video on its own. What you will find in this page is a quest for element materials needed to level up units. There is a quest for each element, and depending on the day, some of the quest will have a double drop day of the week. If you want to be efficient on farming and saving NRG, then I recommend that you farm on the days that it's double drops. One quest you should do every day is the Wayfarer Chamber. There are different difficulties, but you can do this quest 3 times a day. The materials given are necessary items to keep a healthy account together. Now on to the key quests. Keys are attained through missions, shops, and logins. Some quests have uses per key like the JP and Affinity quest. Others will have real-world time limits of availability. As a new player, high-end gear will be hard to come by because most of it comes from raids, so farming here will be your best bet to start with. You can also acquire Magicite here, it's needed to level up Espers. However, this is not the only place to get Magicite. I recommend that you try to complete a good 5-man team first before attempting these key quests. I recommend that you farm the glasses and golden armor for starters. I can go into detail as to why and how to craft the right recipe in another video. Now onto the Farplane archive. You will notice that more options will appear. Story, equipment, unit and title. The story has a ton of side storyline you can play through. They are good stories with lots of Viz to get by completing them. By tapping the magnifying glass, a menu will pop up showing what's inside the locked quest. If I remember correctly, these have a longer time of availability. These quests are not too difficult to clear. Next is the Equipment tab. Here you can find a bigger selection of equipment recipes to farm. Some of these quests will be harder to clear. If you are not able to get gear here, you can easily farm story quest for low-grade gear. Each quest should provide information about what you will receive for completing these challenges. Here is the armor that I use to this day, even in high-end PvP comps. The Smart Coat is a great piece of armor that is good against magic. However, this quest can be difficult for newer players. Now for the Unit tab. Here, you can acquire the units that are shown on the quest selection. There is one unit for each element except Light. Mind you that these are only MR units. Not to say they are bad, but just another way to get a free unit. Lastly, we have the Title tab. Not much to say here other than difficult, and you get titles for completing the challenge. Heading back to the Farplane page. Let's look at the Selection Quest tab real quick. These quests are incredibly difficult. You can only use MR units or the unit that's shown on the cover of the quest. Most people do not have these cleared. I have a few videos on how to clear some of these. But not even I have all of them cleared. They are very time and resource consuming. Clearing these does give you the UR unit shown and the special gear for them. In most cases, these units have not been that impressive. Now, onto the Beast Den. Here, you can fight espers in order to get their awakening materials to level them up. These fights are not too difficult at first but become harder with the higher difficulties. You must also clear all the challenges within the quest if you want the right material. Here is an example. With the right farming units, these challenges are easy. The Raid tab and Tower tab are currently locked. When an active event happens, they will open. I personally find raids very fun, especially when I defeat a boss in a unique way. Tower, I don't enjoy it, but it's there for content, I guess. If the rewards were better, then maybe it would be worth the headache. Last but not least, multi-room. This is how to play with other players. You get to use one unit in a team of up to 4 players. If you are struggling to beat something, you can have players help you this way. You can join a room, if one is open, or create a room and have people join you. The NRG for quest here is reduced, and if you join someone, then you do not spend any NRG. Once you are in a lobby, everyone has to hit the embark button. Otherwise you have to wait until everyone is ready. While farming multi-rooms, if you turn off your device, phone falls asleep or lose connection, you will be kicked from the room. There are all sorts of different things to farm in multi-rooms. Don't be afraid to reach out to players and ask for help. Now over on the bottom left there is a story quest option. On this page you can go through the story. There's a ton of quests here, so take your time. On the bottom left you can see World Quest, Farplane and Hard Quest. First select the World Quest button. You can explore the different quests here. I personally keep forgetting to finish all of these. All of those numbers are quests that are not completed. Look at all that viz I can still get. Back to this menu, the hard quest option is the one we are going to focus on. This one is very important because these are character quests that you can do every day to get shards for your units. Even on days where I barely have time to play this game, I still make sure to do at least this. You can bookmark which characters you want to focus on so you don't have to look for them every time. You can also do the same exact thing for vision cards. For cards you get 1 attempt per quest and up to 6 quests. For units, you can get 2 attempts per unit up to 5 units. There is a way to get more, but it depends on your account royal rank. The Whimsy shop will occasionally appear. It's basically another regular shop, but sometimes there are some discounts in there. That's it for this video. I will go over units in the next video. There are some key things to understand about units. Thanks for watching.